Yeah, and I think the debate has now shifted from between Sunak and Truss to Truss as the de facto favourite expected Prime Minister. And of course, it then comes to not about the party, it becomes to the country. And it says you will be walking into Downing Street in less than 4 weeks' time. What are you going to do to avert the immediate crises that are going to be on facing on your in tray on day one? And I think I strike a slight middle ground here. Obviously, it's difficult for her to sort of say immediately what she can do, but I do think that we're going to see need to see a bit more meat on the bones. I think what was really interesting, that really telling exchange last night, was when that one of your viewers stood up and talked about his own backstory and about how he's a carer, and I think Truss's line there about no handouts, etc., and only making support available through tax cuts. I don't know how long that's going to be able to hold, because you're going to have 3 very difficult months, and I'm sure that's not going to be enough, unfortunately, given the pressures which ordinary families are going to be facing.
One of our viewers has messaged in, David in South Wales, and he said, after listening to all the debates by the two contenders, 4 p.m, especially last night with Alistair Stewart, they've both promised all sorts of things: tax cuts, no tax cuts, help for those who need it, but no mention of us pensioners, considering we're the lowest paid pensioners in the whole of Europe. You'd think she might have missed a trick there, given that commonly the age of the typical Conservative voter is a little more vintage, shall we say, that maybe that is a group of people that they are failing to put enough attention on.
Well, I think it's difficult to keep up with all the promises. There was analysis the other day which showed they've made 2.6 promises each, Sunak and Truss, each day, about 4 times as many pledges as Hunt and Boris did in 2019. So it's difficult to keep up. I have seen that Liz Truss has pledged to restore the triple lock on pensions. That's going to cost something like 20 billion. So there will be some support. I mean, given rising inflation, that'll help pensioners keep up with that. But you're right, every group in society will be struggling. And even those which are getting something might feel slightly shortchanged. So I think it's difficult to appeal to every bit of the Tory base and Tory of coalition, as it were, given all the stresses that they're under.
Seemed quite unequivocal on, actually, was when she talked about immigration, as we just heard there from our viewer Linda. This is something that people feel very, very strongly about. And she did say last night that she would try and change the relationship with the European Court of Human Rights. She would like to abolish it here in the UK and replace it with a UK Bill of Rights. That will have played out very well, won't it, with a lot of Conservative Party members who she's looking to get their support from?
Yes, I think early in the debate, I mean, Suella Braverman, who's the Attorney General, was pledging to withdraw the UK from the ECHR. Now, Truss's position isn't as hard as that. She's trying to work around that. But I think it's definitely something that you hear from Tory members and Tory MPs too, is constant frustration with the ECHR. So, I mean, if she's not been put off by the scars of Brexit, it's definitely something to address. She feels she's got the political capital. I think it may well be one of those things where they're going to have to get through the immediate economic pain of the winter and then look at it again. But you're right, it's something that I think a lot of Tory voters feel very strongly about. And I think they'll be glad that she's going to take action on this.